Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is June the 17th and it is a very special day because the 2.1 update for Trailmakers is coming out today. I am currently racing against the clock to get this one out before that happens, so people will actually watch it and not just go and play the update. Pretty please, guys? Anyway, this is my mine layer, and I'd like to show you how I built it. We begin with a small humble testbed in a time where I didn't quite know where to go with this vehicle yet, hence the testing with Hinge launching the landmines. Midway into trying to get this design to work, I had a brainwave, an absolute banger of an idea that I just couldn't pass up on. You already know what that is because you've seen the final product. I decided to try and make a revolving cylinder that places landmines under the car instead of launching them out and sideways. So I set to work creating a hexagonal array of landmines placed on a setup with a rotating servo. This is because when I rotate the dispensers, each landmine needs to have its own unique angle on the rotating servo so they all get placed in the same place, and thus they can neatly come out from under the car between the wheels. That was relatively simple to do, and now I have to find the 6 positions the servo needs to be in order for the landmines to be parallel to the ground, which was also straightforward, as it only took a little bit of trial and error to find the first 3 angles, which revealed the other 3 angles, because it is essentially the same thing, just in negative signal strength. Now we need to set up the logic to automatically deploy the mines and rotate the cylinder. While I build that in the background, here's a hopefully comprehensive explanation as to how it works. Alright chaps, here we are in the test zone explaining how this system works. So I have an array of 6, what are these called again? Signal flares. And they are all actuated using the same button, namely the number 1. If I hit a button, hit the number 1, repeatedly, they will keep firing independently of each other sequentially. And if I want to go faster, I can. And if I want to go slower, I can. Now, this is my second run through of this explanation because the last time I did it, as you can see by my history, the last time I did it, I didn't record my voice, so very coolness. So let's run this from the top. The accumulator is where all the magic happens. It's what feeds these comparison gates, and the comparison gates are what feed the output. And so the accumulator is really important. Now, here I have a logic gate going into the accumulator because in the event that you want to add extra conditions to the accumulator, then you can do that. You can just like go boom and then boom. But for now, I don't need any of those, and if you know right off the bat that you don't need any extra conditions, then you can just go in here and add the keybind instead. But then, the accumulator goes into all of these comparison gates, which are all set to equals, because each and every step that the accumulator makes will actuate each and every one of these. When these detect that the accumulator is at the right place, then it goes into these gates. These gates are, all they are is a buffer because of how the comparison gates don't really like it when you play with the timings, in my experience. So that just goes into here first before moving on to the signal flare. And then at the end we have this extra gate, which just means that when the accumulator gets to its final maximum setting, this gate detects it and sends it into this area which constantly spams a reset command to the accumulator. And the reason why it spams it is because if you hold it down, then it won't reset. If I can... Let me see if I can demonstrate this. You see? I'm holding the number 1 down right now, and it's not resetting. So that's just a little bit of foolproofing, so that the system doesn't break just because you didn't let go quickly enough. And so there you have it. Keybind into accumulator, accumulator into comparison gates. Comparison gates detect when the accumulator gets to a certain point. Then they send a signal into the buffer gate, which sends a quick pulse into the item that you're trying to fire. And this goes for anything. Now, in the landmine dispenser, I have an extra step for the 0. Or basically, not necessarily for the 0, but I need an extra neutral position where the cylinder hasn't rotated at all. But then I also need a position where it's rotated to the first step, so the landmine number 1 can fire, where it only rotates but doesn't shoot a landmine. So it's going to look slightly different in the main video. But that is basically how my sequential firing logic system works. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Beautiful stuff. Right, let's get back to the video. Hopefully my voice recorded. Now that the logic is in place, we can give it a test. It works. Fantastic. Now we just need to give the car a body and paint it up. And with that, it is finally finished. I can go ahead and drive it around, place some mines, and overall enjoy the build in its complete state. But as far as this video is concerned, we are done here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button to see more videos just like this one from me in the future. If you have any ideas for what I should do next, definitely leave them in the comments section below, but that's going to be it from me. My name is Yitify, and this has been the making of a sequential mine laying car with a revolving cylinder. See you all next time. Peace.